The Wealth Advocates simplify the financial world and show you how today's events could affect your financial health so you feel confident about your financial future.
Good morning, Wealth Advocates Nation. It's great to be back with you. I'm Patrick Jenkins. I'm here with Ammon Doman. We're going to talk about budgeting and balancing the budget and high interest rates. High interest rates is an important topic right now. It's the first time in a long time we've seen interest rates at this magnitude. And really, in the last 22 months, it's risen faster than it's ever risen before. And while that academically may not make a lot of difference to people, when it comes to their budget, if they have debt, it's kind of a big deal, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so debt is definitely one of those things that, some debt with lower interest rates is probably okay, mortgages, things like that. But high interest credit card debt that's variable, especially when we have these interest rate spikes, is going to be a problem for a lot of people. So it's important to get ahead of it, get those debts paid off, and we want to talk a little bit about how to do that.
That's a funny thing that's going on in this particular time and place where people may have mortgage rates that are 2 or 3%, but their credit card debt could be as high as 33%, and they don't know. Why don't they know what their interest rate is?
Because a lot of times when the packet of information comes from the credit card company, they throw it away.
Yeah, it's in the fine print, isn't it?
It's in the fine print that those interest rates are variable and tied to what's called the prime rate. So
let's put it in a very practical sense. If I have a 33% interest rate, that means every 3 years, the balance doubles on its own, correct?
That's correct.
Those are huge monthly payments I need to make to get it back under control, correct?
That's absolutely right.
So what are some budgeting tips that you tell people, Ammon?
Yeah, it's important to, number one, is just be aware. A lot of people aren't aware. It's easy to swipe a card, and it's easy for those small transactions to add up quickly over time. So being aware of where your money's going is the biggest key for me. And then the other thing that you want to look at is what are your needs versus what are some things that might be just not necessary for your life right now, especially if you're carrying credit card debt.
I'm a Dave Ramsey fan, and he always uses the line, if you want to live like no one else, live like no one else. And his big push there is, let's get out of debt.
Yeah.
I have seen the whole life cycle of money planning. I see it every day, actually. And the biggest factor on whether people are able to retire and stay retired, whether they're happy and working, is how much of their money goes to debt. It feels like a millstone around their neck if they have high interest debt, and they should do anything they can to get out of it, correct?
That's absolutely right.
All right. Any big takeaways for people and balancing budgets and managing debt?
Yeah, just making yourself aware of where your money's going. Don't let the tail wag the dog, so to speak. But yeah, if you want to talk through your situation, need help with any of that, we're happy to help.
And that's exactly right. Sometimes it takes another set of eyes on your situation to see a solution. Somebody that's not emotionally tied to what's going on to point out, here's the way out of this problem. Right. And when it comes to budgeting, it's a very uncomfortable topic. Nobody likes to budget. Right. And when it comes to debt, it feels like you're revealing your financial sins. And so you get stuck in this swamp. And the reality is you need somebody else to point the way out. So listeners, if you need help, give us a call. You'll see our link in the description below of tips and tricks on how to set up a budget. And feel free to give us a call at 435-755-9400. We're happy to work with you and walk you through this. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to The Wealth Advocates. Join us every month by subscribing on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts. You can also look for The Wealth Advocates on Stitcher and YouTube. Want more information about today's topics? Reach out to John or Patrick directly by visiting wealth-advocates.com.